Hello everybody, I am back. I know I have been gone for the longest time. I was just away trying to find myself, trying to find peace within the inner Shin. Nah, I was just kidding. I was actually preparing for America's Got Talent. And I was actually making a new routine, a never before seen, only a couple of people and a couple of friends that I've shown it to. I was just doing that for round one. If you are gonna be thinking I'm performing Dream Act, don't look out for it. I'm not doing that act yet. Hopefully if I go through to the next rounds, I'm trying to save my best for last. I don't want to do my best act first. Kinda don't want to make the same mistakes that a lot of performers tend to make with competition shows or any sort of shows that has more than just one round. You never want to do your best act first, I believe. And in this case, I was doing a brand new act that I was searching for. This is why I was gone the whole time. And the routine that I'll be performing, I can't get too much into it because of legal reasons, but essentially it's the ambitious card. It's my take on the ambitious card. Kind of changed it up a little bit, so just imagine if Shin were to perform an ambitious card to music and all synchronized and beautiful. So be on the lookout for that. I really hope you guys stay tuned, and please, if I do get to the live rounds, you all know what to do. Vote for this guy right here if you want to see me perform the Dream Act for one of the judges, and see if I can fool the shit out of Simon with it. Also, I've been really busy trying to get Casey into America. Of course, with Trump as president, it was a little hard to sneak her through the borders. I'm just kidding, we did it all legal ways. We had the fiance visa, which turns out it still took us like 9 months for the visa to pass. And eventually it worked, and eventually we managed to bring her through to the country. She's staying in my house right now. That's why I'm here. I'm in the studio. She's renovating my upstairs floor. And I'm stuck down in the basement. This is where I shoot some of the stuff when I get kicked out of my own room, because you know it's not my house anymore. You know, she owns the place, so you know, she controls everything. Save me! I really need help. No, it's wonderful. She's actually redecorating the house. It's looking really, really good. Way better than I or even she thought it would look. So I'm actually really excited to start filming some Instagram stuff. I've already shot some Instagram stuff here. Like this. I know, it's cool. It's a white background. It's almost like I'm in an Apple commercial or something. And you know, some of you guys are thinking it's CGI or editing. Excuse me, if you don't know any of my work, I use black art, which we all know, and this is now white art. Alright, I'm not racist. I wanted to use both. Very soon I'll be using brown art with sand on the beach, maybe, perhaps, or purple art, which space, you know, somewhere in the black hole as a servant. But going back to the subject of America's Got Talent, a lot of people ask me, and this is something that I actually get a lot. You're probably like, who the hell is this guy trying to tell me what beautiful performance is? No, it's a different type of style. I would like to talk about it because I think a lot of people have questions on how to make their current routine beautiful. And so a lot of you are wondering why, you know, you might want to change your act to make it different or artistic. And a lot of the times it's for shows or competitions or anything that's special, like a TV appearance or TV special, you know? These aren't really things that you want to put into your walk around, of course, or restaurant magic or table hopping or cocktail parlor situations. We all know that we want to do basic, strong, reliable, practical magic for those type of situations. The type of advice I'm trying to give to you right now is more for routines that you'll perform in a special occasion. Right, at the end of a gala show, or at the end of a walk-around session, when everyone's seated, they all know who you are, and they're all going to watch this special performance that is timed, that is beautiful, and that will stick in their minds forever. And I think there is a special place for routines like this. You know, it might not match what you're trying to go for, but I think it will definitely help. And so I brought over here my MacBook Pro. We're gonna look through a couple of routines that I think are sincerely beautiful. We'll check out the main one routine because I don't think we have time to do too many. But let's just look at one. Now, usually I would, of course, talk about my own act, but you can go ahead and check it out on your own. Give me those extra views, please. I really need those views. That really helps a lot. Please, please. But we'll look at another friend of mine. His name is Yu Ho-jin. He is a FISM winner 2012 Grand Prix stage card manipulator. He's literally one of the best card manipulators I know. He's also a really good friend of mine. He's also much better looking than me, and also much better at card magic than I am. So I am very jealous, and that's why we're gonna look at him right now. Actually, I took a lot of inspiration from him with the Dream Act. Those of you who have seen it, this is something that I was heavily inspired by. Now, something you'll notice inside his entire performance is that Ho-jin performs extremely slowly. Now, of course, not all magicians have to perform slowly, but it has to match. You listen to the music, it's going slow, and the way he's performing is going slow. It's very precise, every single movement is justified. And when you're looking at your routine, I really want you to focus on that as well. Are my body motions matching the choreography of the routine? You just have to have all of these things going through your mind, making sure it all matches, and as you can see, it matches right here. Now I want to talk about, this is going a little bit deeper, just talking about strictly card manipulation. So of course if you don't do card manipulation, I think you can still apply it even if you're, let's say, doing a ball manipulation act. This is the only portion of the routine that he's doing a single card vanish and then he stops. He stops the single card vanish sequence, the hand wiping sequence, and he just moves on to something else. Too many times in a manipulation act, I've seen a card manipulator do a back palm vanish, a hand wipe sequence, another back palm vanish, another hand wipe sequence, and they repeat the same motion, the same trick over and over again. I understand that sometimes you think, okay, it's a different method, so it's a different trick. I'm vanishing it in a different way. But in a lay person's perspective, in a normal person's eyes, at the end of the day, it looks like the same thing. They don't care if it's a different method. They don't care if it uses the fourth finger instead of the pinky. You know, for them, a card vanish is a card vanish. So you should move on because it's gonna start to feel repetitive. And a lot of times with manipulation routines, you can run into this problem of things feeling repetitive. And so that's the last thing that you want. Even for card tricks like the ambitious card, it can get repetitive and it can seem like the card is always rising to the top. And so when you watch my ambitious card routine, you'll notice that every single moment is different. I actually not once bring the card to the top except for only one time. I don't want to reveal too much about the routine. God, he's so sexy. Don't tell Casey I said that. Unbelievable. It's amazing. And when I remember when I was watching this for the first time, I was so fooled. I had no idea how he got that card. I truly thought it was real magic, you know, for the first time. And that's a lot of people say when they first watch this act. You know, forget the fact that you've seen this act before. Remember when you first watched that moment. It's just the most fooling. And why is it? It's because every single movement, it's so justified. There's nothing funny about it. He's not going down here. He's not looking. He's looking right at the audience the entire time. He's connecting with the audience with his eyes. That's something that I like to do a lot. Always looking at the camera. I'm never looking at my hands trying to figure out, okay, am I Tenkai palming this properly? Am I flashing? You're always trying to gaze your focus at the audience the entire time. Not only is it a good way to connect with the audience, but it's also a good way to misdirect them in a sense of your confidence and the way your posture is and everything. That's so good. See, I have to perform with SSS. I can't do that. I'm not good enough to not good enough to perform standing up. I need a table for my smoke. This isn't really a performance tip, I guess, because it's something that you have to find out by yourself, or you have to create. But when you're having a routine, I think we all know you need to have that one moment in the act that's like, wow, what the f***? For me, this is the moment when he's doing the card restoration, was kind of that what the f*** moment. I said, okay, there's no possible way that's possible, it's true magic. And it's something that people remember about the act. So when someone talks about Hojin's act, I will say, oh, there's this one part where the card just restores in his hand as he's holding it, nothing funny, no cover, nothing. For my act, I guess people would say either the bag change, the card changing the bag, or the card coming out from my mouth with the smoke. For 52 Shades, it's the color changing deck. So there has to be that one moment that's original, powerful. At least it has to have some of your essence in it. It has to have your style, you know, your Shinlim style. And if you have that inside of your routine, that is what makes it special, and that's what makes someone talk about your routine the entire time, whether they're telling their friends about it, or whether they're telling, oh, you have to watch this video, wait till the part where he restores the card. That is something that you're trying to look for in your routine, and I think that's actually the most important part of having a unique, beautiful act, is that one moment where, oh my god, this juggler juggled 7 knives and they were on fire at the same time while balancing a phone on his nose. I don't know, something crazy, but you understand it has to have that one part in the act that's so unique. No matter what kind of performing artist you are, you always have to have that one moment. Alright guys? This part is so good. He is so fast. His fans are also perfect. You know, you don't have to do that if you're a card manipulator, but geez, it's so fast. So amazing. This part is one of my favorites as well. Now before we go into the very end part, this is again another moment where I'm not going to go too much into it, of course, but notice where he's focusing the image. Notice where he's focusing the frame of where he wants people to be watching. He's actually taking your direction away from something else. It's so clever, it's so amazing. So just try, I don't, you know, I know of course you don't apply that exact same thing to your act, but apply the same principle. You see, notice how it's so justified, how he's focusing, look, it just turned blank, and now all the focus is there, and while all the focus is in one place, it's the perfect way, you know, to misdirect someone, even when you're standing so far away from them. It's truly amazing. It's so much more difficult to misdirect somebody when you're on stage. And then of course there's the finale piece, which is some people's favorite as well. I love it, and it's beautiful. If you haven't seen it, here it is in full screen. It's absolutely magnificent. You know, he's ending the exact same way he began. Of course, you don't have to do that, but it's just something beautiful. You know, it has a story. It has a beginning, a middle, and the end. And every single part is extremely different. I mean, yes, they all have to do with cards, but you don't feel like it's a card trick. Now, that's the most important thing. I think when it comes to any sort of routine, even a juggler, I feel like you've done your job when the spectator feels like you weren't juggling, like you weren't doing a card trick, when you're doing something else, when you're exceeding their thoughts on what was possible. I think that's when you've done your job. And they can't explain it. I don't think anyone really can explain what it is that's special about it. But I think it's just that one thing you know, that takes it to the next level. That's something that you need in your act, because you can do anything. You can do magic with lemons or whatever, but that's not what's special. What's special is they need to find that something interesting about you that makes you different from all the other performers. So it has nothing to do with props or the amount of money you have to spend on large illusions. It's your character that you have to have people fall in love with. I think that's what's most important about performing good magic or beautiful magic. You know, I don't know if you guys like any of this information or if it was just a waste of your time. I am sorry if it was a waste of your time. But if you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below on what you want me to talk about, whether it be a trick, a sleight, or something that you need help on. Maybe I might be good at it, or I might have a friend that's good at it, and I can have them film some performance tips as well on it. I have a couple of videos coming out with Alex Pandrea on the diagonal palm shift. That's later on. Again, I might talk about the Mercury card fold. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll be making more soon enough with this white background. I'm not racist. My name is Shin. See you later.